You're watching News First, and up next is a look at Action TV.
Motions that are submitted on Thursdays for the granting of bail to a suspect arrested by the Alpitia police and remanded after being placed before the Alpitia Magistrates Court are not accepted. On Thursdays, such motions must be submitted at the particular police station only in relation to the relevant case. However, a suspect who was arrested by the Alpitia police and then produced before the Alpitia magistrate on Tuesday was able to secure bail today through such a motion. Another notable feature in this incident is that neither the suspect nor his lawyer were aware that such a motion was to be submitted. The wrong committed by the suspect, which led to his being ordered into remand custody for 14 days, is contained in the B report that was submitted by the police to the magistrate. According to the report, the plaintiff is a clerk at the Alpitia Magistrates Court. The police had reported to court that while the complainant was returning home from work, the suspect had gotten off a vehicle and then dealt the complainant blows to the head and neck. The complainant had lodged this complaint travelling to the Alpitia police himself. If the complainant was injured, then in keeping with police regulations, what the police should have done was hand over the complainant to the nearest hospital. However, the complainant, who was not hospitalized that day, had passed 5 hospitals located between his home and place of work at the Alpitia Magistrates Court and had been admitted to the Alpitia Hospital located in close proximity to the Magistrates Court. He was handed over to the hospital as an official at the Alpitia Magistrates Court who had reported to work on that day. The suspect, who was arrested the previous day by the police and had his vehicle impounded by the police as a case item, was produced before the magistrate at the magistrate's official chambers on Tuesday. The police have noted in the B report that the suspect was under the influence of alcohol. However, such a conclusion has been reached from the complainant's statement and not through an independent medical report.
කැඳවුවට පස්සේ මම මේ නඩුවට ඉදිරිපත් වුණා. තවත් නීතිඥ මහතුරු දෙන්නෙකුත් ඉදිරිපත් වුණා.
I came forward when the hearing was convened. So did 2 other lawyers. The magistrate asked the police what was going on. The police noted that the complainant was a clerk with the Alpitia Magistrates Court. When I got up to speak, all I managed to get out was, "Your Honour, this is a bailable offence."
මට කරුණු දක්වන්න කියනකොටම මම ස්වාමීනි මෙය අපදිය හැකි වරදක්. එච්චරයි මට කියන්න හම්බුනේ.
According to the contents of the B report, the suspect has committed an offence punishable under sections 314 and 315 of the Penal Code. An individual suspected of committing such an offence can be granted police bail in accordance with section 6 of the Bail Act. The B report also notes that the complainant had violated traffic laws and as a result his motorbike had ended up in front of the car driven by the suspect. The suspect, who had been ordered into remand custody for 14 days, was set free on bail without any conditions being imposed after the complainant was discharged from hospital last morning. Isn't looking into whether this incident was an example of the universal declaration that the law is equal to all, or an example of the Orwellian saying that some animals are more equal than others, imperative to maintaining the respect and reputation of the judiciary? Now, News First recently visited a village which has managed to slip through the net of the myriad of development projects that were recently initiated.
Our provincial correspondent in the village, W.M. Uberatna, filed this report.
This is how the patients in Galwelagama, Lunugala in Passara are taken to the hospital. They said the child was sick and that is why I came. It is difficult to travel on this road. I would not do it even for 100,000. There are 85 three-wheelers in this town, but not a single one of them will come to this village. Let alone three-wheelers, no other vehicles can travel on this road. A hire to the hospital, which should cost 500 rupees, cost about 1,000 rupees. Over 50 agrarian families residing in the village have been facing this problem for several years. During elections, ministers and MPs come here and canvass for votes. We don't see them afterwards.
The book Buduhamduru, authored by Venerable Ganegama Saranankara Thera, has been translated into Braille.
An event to mark the launch of the Braille translation of the book was held at the Sri Lanka Visually Impaired People's Federation in Colombo.
The book Buduhamduru, authored by Venerable Ganegama Saranankara Thera, was translated into Braille by P.B. Lakshman with the sponsorship of the Yoshida International School in Sapugaskanda. Translated copies of the book were presented to institutions for the visually impaired today. The event was held under the auspices of the chairman of the Sri Lanka Mahabodhi Society, Venerable Banagala Upatissa Thera.
අපි දෛනිකව විවිධ උත්සව වලට යනවා. ඒ වගේම විවිධ සම්මේලන
We participate in various events on a daily basis. We attend various conferences. In all honesty, what is transpiring today brings me more happiness than what happens at all those other events. As society keeps moving forward, we tend to forget the visually impaired and the disabled as we journey forward. I am very happy that I was asked to participate at such an occasion.
හැකියාවක් නැති පිරිස අමතක කරලා දාලා අපි ඉදිරි ගමනක් යන්නේ. ඉතින් මේ වගේ අවස්ථාවකට මාව සහභාගී කරවා ගත්තට මම හුඟක් දුරට තාමත්ම සන්තෝෂ වෙනවා.
මේ බ්‍රේල් පොත බුදුහාමුදුරුවෝ කියන ගණේගම සරණංකර හාමුදුරන්ගේ රචිත මෙම පොත
The Yoshida International School sponsored the translation of the book Buduhamuduruwa by Venerable Ganegama Saranankara Thera into Braille. I had a discussion which lasted about an hour with the director, Venerable Banagala Upatissa Thera. What we are seeing today are the fruits of that discussion.
සාකච්ඡාවක් කෙරුවා. ඒ සාකච්ඡාවල ප්‍රතිඵල හැටියට අද මේ මොහොතේ ඒ සාකච්ඡාවේ මල්ඵල ගැන්විලා තිබෙනවා.
The ornamental doorway constructed at the historic Kaluwela Siddha Rankadudewala Pattini Devalaya in Kaluwela was unveiled yesterday by parliamentarian Sujiva Senasinghe.
The ornamental doorway was constructed with assistance of devotees residing in the area. MP Sujiva Senasinghe too had contributed to its construction with a financial donation. Meanwhile, the Asala Perahara of the Kadudewala Siddha Rankadu Pattini Devalaya paraded the streets last night. The Asala Perahara festival of the Devalaya, which commenced on the 21st of this month, will conclude on the 9th of September.
News First U reporter Anura Anand from Kandy filed this report today on environment pollution that is taking place in the area.
This waterfall that flows down from the peak of Hatton Mountain in Kandy to the Mahaveli River is considered a symbol of natural beauty. However, area residents in Hanthana have been severely inconvenienced due to the waste from the area that is contaminating the water of the stream.
Well, evidence is mounting that life on Earth may have started on Mars.
Now that's right, a leading scientist believes that a certain element that is crucial to the origin of life could only have originated on the surface of the red planet. News First Saskia Valenda filed this report.
Not only was Mars once much more like Earth with atmosphere, surface water and warmer temperatures, but it has a potential key ingredient for life that was not available on our planet Earth. Professor Stephen Brenner presented his findings at the annual Goldschmidt meeting in Florence yesterday. Brenner of the Westheimer Institute for Science and Technology in the US pointed out that an oxidized mineral form of the element molybdenum is thought to be the catalyst that helped organic molecules develop into the first living structures. However, this form of element couldn't have been available on Earth at the time life first began, because the surface of Earth had very little oxygen, but Mars did. An analysis of a Martian meteorite recently showed that the key element existed on Mars. The geochemist argued that the origin of life probably arrived on Earth on meteorites blasted off Mars by impacts or volcanic eruptions. The idea that life originated on Mars and was then transported to our planet has been discussed before. However, Professor Brenner's idea adds another twist to the theory of Martian origin for the terrestrial biosphere.
In sports news this evening, former Sri Lankan skipper Kumar Sangakkara says that he has decided to represent the Kandurattan Maroons at Champions League.
There were varying views being expressed as to what team Kumar Sangakkara should represent at the Champions League tournament, which begins on the 17th of next month. The issue arose as both the Hyderabad Sunrisers and Kandurattan Maroons that feature Kumar Sangakkara have qualified for the Champions League. Addressing the media at the NCC grounds in Colombo, Sangakkara explained that he had called on Sri Lanka cricket to intervene to resolve this matter. He added that he was inconvenienced due to Sri Lanka cricket not taking prompt action in this regard.
I don't think a player should have been put into the position that I have been put into now, where it has been misrepresented that this is a country versus IPL or country versus money or country versus franchise issue. This is actually a franchise versus franchise issue. I was only met by the board yesterday, day before yesterday, where they informed me that they wanted me to play for Kandurata. And at that time I informed them if they can get involved and get me released from the Sunrisers franchise with minimum or no penalty, then I'd be happy to represent Kandurata. I am personally penalized either in the public eye in Sri Lanka or either financially in the IPL.
Meanwhile, Secretary to Sri Lanka Cricket Nishant Ranatunga said that SLC had requested Kumar Sangakkara to play for the Kandurata Maroons at the Champions League. Now, however, he further stated that Sangakkara had the rights to decide on which team he was going to play at the Champions League cricket tournament based on his contract.
Well, staying in cricket news, the chairman of the SLC National Selectors Committee, Sanat Jayasuriya, says that special attention is paid when selecting senior players for squads for the longer format of the game. Speaking at a media briefing convened at Sri Lanka Cricket today, Jayasuriya expressed the following views.
We are thinking of again bring few youngsters whenever we can, and also the test series is very important for us. So I think we need senior players in that team also. So I think we need to have a serious discussions. What are we going to do with this, the test series especially? So the test series is very important. So we can't, even though we want to bring few youngsters, at the same time we need those senior players services.
Well, that's a wrap from the News First team for tonight. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm Arundhati Mudanayaka.
And I'm Nadim Majid. Just a reminder that you can keep abreast of the latest headline-making news by logging on to our website www.newsfirst.lk. As always, it's been a pleasure having you with us. Have a pleasant evening ahead. Good night and good luck.
News First at 9.
Hotline 0114 896 896. www.newsfirst.lk. Feedback at newsfirst.lk.